Welcome to Nervous Rex. I'm sitting here with Dillard, and we're going to say right out of the gate, I have some amazing guests this episode. My dear friends and cartoon character, rap, rock and roll homies, Andre, Legacy, and Beardo, who've been getting a ton of requests to do the pod.
Yes.
You haven't met them yet, but you're going to see in full 3D what these guys are about. I think Andre Legacy is the best rapper he's like the natural rapper, and Beardo's the natural rock star. And we are in a group with Mickey Avalon for years called Dyslexic Speed Readers. So we're going to hang out with them.
What a group.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Now, I want to do something. What's the weirdest thing you saw all week? And I'll tell you mine.
I mean, we talk about this often, but the homeless epidemic in Los Angeles is getting wild. So I see a lot of meth heads like defecating on themselves and stuff. But the weirdest thing, I was walking down to Alfred Coffee on Melrose Place, and there was a guy jacking off in his car, staring at all the girls walking by.
The weirdest thing I saw this week, I saw a dude shitting in the ocean and wiping his ass with the waves. Yep, not kidding. So,
had you been swimming in said ocean?
Yes, and then I did not go back in. So I was in Santa Monica, where there's a really bad homeless epidemic, and they just don't really do much about it in Venice, Santa Monica, or most of Los Angeles, and it's a really fucked up situation. And I was just chilling on the beach and with my lady friend, European tourists everywhere, nice sunny afternoon. Dude walks up, shits in the ocean, and splashes his butt with the surf, and just walked off like nothing happened. And the disturbing part was the cops roll up, and they just kept going and didn't give a fuck.
Well, they don't want to deal. Do you follow? It might be Overheard Santa Monica or something like that. It's. But I think it's an Instagram account, and it's about all the homeless meltdowns, and they'll do videos and that whole thing.
I follow Santa Monica Problems, which shows all the crime that the news doesn't report, because they want to keep Santa Monica safe and not people not going to visit if they find out what's really going on. Because there was a shooting out front of my place the other night, and then the next morning there was another shooting, and then the dude committed suicide right in front of my place. No. Oh yeah, I have it on my Instagram. Not the moment he does it, but it's pretty heavy out there. Like, I thought Santa Monica was going to be, chill, but it's fucking gnarly.
Because it's expensive.
Well, that's why that happens, or
no? I
would
think that they would be more vigilant with homeless people because it is price per square foot, not cheap to live.
Well, this goes back to Mateo, who we had on the show, my friend DJ Mateo, who had the infection that he had to have his leg removed from swimming in a polluted ocean. So when I saw the dude taking a shit in the ocean, I'm like, okay, that can't be good, right? I don't know. Disturbing.
Did you make eye contact with the guy after? Were you like, are you kidding me right now?
He was on meth like your Jackie boy. He was on meth for sure, because he was just, you could tell when someone's on meth, they're just tweaking, Tweaker Rodrigo shit. It's fucking gnarly. I don't even know and it's fucked to even talk about it like, because it's sad. It's a tragic thing for human beings to do, but then also, what's the solution? And
what is the solution? I mean,
I don't know. I think people are going to get really sick, like, because people are shitting and jacking off everyone. There's going to be cum and shit everywhere. People are going to slip and hurt their neck.
Have you been in the ocean since you saw the man defecate?
Honestly, yeah. Fuck. Why would I do that?
Did you think about it?
I didn't until you just said it.
Swimming in shit.
That's how normal it is that I forgot that a dude shit traumatically in front. Dramatic and traumatic it was.
It's not great.
Speaking of shitting in the ocean, I want to bring out my next guests. My only guests today. I want to bring out Beardo and Andre Legacy so you could see what me and my friends are all about. Will you please enjoy this?
I'm excited to see this dynamic.
These guys are a hoot.
Okay? A hoot.
Well, they're musical geniuses.
And a half.
They're musical geniuses. So get ready for some avant-garde behavior.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, me too. Welcome, boys.
Thanks for having us.
We've been wanting to do this for a while. This is my new regalia. Look.
I love it. This is crispy.
Dude, come on, it's crispy. Dude. It's crispy, dude.
There's a rigatoni salad up here.
Yes. Okay, now you see where I get.
It's very palatial.
It's palatial.
This is palatial, though.
This is palatial.
This is the definition.
Yeah. It is. All right, let me really quickly announce Andre Legacy and me and Beardo have done music for years. We've been all over the regalia, and we recently just did a show at the Viper Room. They have a new song that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But let's jump right into the word regalia and how it was born, because Beardo wasn't there, but guess who was there? Andre
I was
Legacy.
around.
And he came out to Australia. I was shooting a TV show, and I flew you out.
Yep.
And I had extra tickets to fly the homies out. And Navin, our friend from Miami, was out there, and he kept talking about the regatta, which is a boat thing in Florida where people park their boats and be rich and drink wine on boats together. And he kept saying, I got to get back to Miami to go to the regatta. And Legacy was like, why do you got to go to the regalia? And it just became this funny thing that was just like, he has a good way with words. And then regalia, 12 years later, regalia, it don't stop. So thank you, Legacy.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Did Legacy actually come up with the word? But
That was completely Andre Legacy. So was the song My Dick.
Yes.
Is your
That's
idea?
true.
Yes.
He's got the best ideas.
So I was remember.
This is a gang.
I was
This is
gonna.
a gang?
I was gonna put out. I wasn't gonna put 24-hour Party on my first record because I thought it was too punk, and because I wanted it to be like rap but a little bit of things. So, anyways, Legacy was like, "Nah, man, you can't. You got to put that on." And I was literally not gonna put it on. He saved my ass. So
You guys can
does have
thank me
good
later.
ideas.
Well, thanking you now because Legacy's always right about shit. And like at the time, I remember when you came up, you're like, I got an idea for us. I remember it so clearly. He comes over to my crib with me and Mickey Avalon recording before any of this happened. And he's like, I got an idea for a song. This is my Legacy voice. I got an idea for a song. It's called My Dick. And I remember saying, let me guess what it's about. And he goes, no, check it. I'll be like, my dick is bigger than a bridge. Yo dick look like, and we'll just say my dick, yo dick. And I was like, man, I don't know. All right. So I made a beat in 5 minutes. And to shut him up, we recorded it in 2 hours. It went platinum.
Yeah.
And you guys lost the original.
Platinum.
I remember you guys lost the original session file.
Yeah.
So you had to use whatever the last one you guys did.
No
Wasn't
way.
it something like that?
Oh, I don't. Was that?
Well,
on
no,
my,
Yeah.
we recorded it on like your $99 Shure mic.
Yes,
and that's the
it.
actual version that's like on the
Yeah.
Interscope records and everything. Is that one obviously mastered probably a million times? But
But
you know.
I think if they would have changed, if like you would have found, I remember there was this master session was gone, so you only had like minimal tracks to work with, because everybody obviously wants to mess it up. Which in music business, there was like, oh, their demo sounds really good, great, let's go record it professionally now. Then it sounds like crap. You lose the magic. But it was like one of those things where I think if they would have switched it, it would have lost the magic. And I also remember Dre wanted to remix it at the time.
That's right.
It's
Dr.
something
Dre.
like that.
Dr.
Dre.
Dre wanted the masters to
Yeah.
it.
yeah, you wanted the files.
And I think
Yeah.
you guys said no, right?
Well,
no, he
or
got him
was-
3 weeks late. He got him 3
Yeah.
weeks late and was just like, fuck you guys.
It's just one of those things. If that would have happened, we would have signed with Dre. We'd all be dead bodies right now.
Oh, yeah.
We would have been billionaire rappers, and it would have been over. So I'm glad
Yeah.
we're here.
Yeah, I'd be in jail with Suge
Yeah.
Knight.
Yeah. Oh, what about? Can I tell when you loped up on Suge Knight for me?
Jeez.
So Beardo rolls up to Suge Knight at a nightclub one night, and he had a big. Beardo had a big afro at the time.
Red coat,
Red coat. Oh yeah.
Red
all the
leather
way
jacket.
red,
He was all
blood red all the way up into the gun.
Oh.
Not knowing that though.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's the right color at least.
Yeah.
Um,
It could go either way.
Or the wrong color.
And said like dragons on the back or something. What did it say on the back? Like angels or
I'm down
dragons?
with everyone, by the way. But
Yeah. No,
I was wearing a red
You
jacket.
wearing red again too.
And he had no
Anyways.
shirt on.
Yeah, no shirt underneath.
No
he
shirt.
rolls up to Suge Knight in the club in Hollywood, and I just see Beardo's afro bobbing as he's spitting in Suge Knight's face. And
Not
I
just
well,
like
no, well, you were
speaking,
well,
but then as
Little
being
spittle.
When
Yeah,
he
he's
turned around and
spittle.
looked at us and he goes, yo, I'm about to tell Suge Knight I'm dopest rapper out. Yeah, I swear to God, he walks right up to him and you can see Beardo like, and he's just spitting all up in his face. And you see Suge just wiping the spit
He
out.
wiped
Like,
his
yo,
face.
Suge's about to kill this dude.
Gave
Right?
No,
his-
you told him that's dirt nasty. Then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
pointed
I
at
tried-
me, and
I
I
tried
said,
to name
"Suge,
drop
look
you."
at me." And he looks at me like, "Who?" And then you're talking his face, and I just see him go, like, and looked at you like you're crazy. And Suge Knight wanted to kill you.
He did want to kill me. He gave me his phone number. I never called it. I'm sure it was like just a phone number that would have got me killed.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll sign you. Meet me down
Yeah.
here. Like I never called, but
Yeah, good.
I woke up the next morning wondering, just laughing.
That's
Maybe
when
at
you
the
were
fourth
drinking. You
floor.
don't
Yeah.
drink anymore.
No, I haven't. I haven't
4
drank in
years.
5 years.
Good for you. I
Yeah.
remember because that's back in your drinking days. You were
It
a
was-
wild boy.
I was wild. It was fun though. I mean,
Yeah.
there was, everyone. I feel like everyone that drinks has a different person they turn into.
Yeah.
So like, I was always like more fun, more things, but it's never good. I mean, if music and alcohol and that stuff, it has to be separated to a certain degree, because I feel like for me 5 years ago when I started playing in this band called The Voids, I just wanted to. Then I'd already been an artist up until that point, doing the stuff with these guys, and before that, I was working with this guy Cisco, and I just made a choice. I remember I played Coachella. It was the first week because it moved to 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
So the first week we played, and then I was hanging out And it was with MGMT, all these really cool musicians that I love. And I remember I had a whole bottle of whiskey, and I was drinking it, and I got drunk, and I was fine. I didn't do anything crazy. I was in my own room. I just drank, and I passed out, woke up, and I just didn't feel like, I just felt like even though I had played a great show at Coachella, I still felt like I failed because, like a failure in a way, because I was drinking. I could have like hung out and talked about music and done positive things.
Yeah.
Instead, I just got drunk, and I probably looked like an idiot. And then the second week I came back, I just said I'm not going to drink, and I didn't, and then I never drank again.
Damn, 5 years.
Stop.
5 years.
Me and
from then.
Legacy have never been big drinkers. We never really drank. Smoked a lot of weed, and
I like weed.
I haven't drinking in a couple years myself either. Probably
you're
2
not
or
a
3
drink-
years.
Yeah, we never been big drinkers. But when you're on the road, it almost goes hand in hand. When you're doing shows on the road, that was one of the things for me was that a shot of tequila and a beer definitely gives you that little liquid courage to go rock the show. But
Exactly.
then you got to be careful because a little too much is going to affect. Like you play guitar, you need
Yeah.
to be a little more technical. You
Yeah.
can't be slurring and
Yeah.
fucking up. Beardo plays guitar in The Voids, which is Julian Casablancas' other band besides The Strokes.
Yeah.
He got a big dick, I guarantee it.
Probably. I've never. He's a very secretive
probably
guy.
prosthetic, though, like
I've
a
never
fake.
seen the man naked.
No? I
But
feel he got
he's-
big dick energy because he almost, when he performs, he looks
No,
like
he
he's
does.
rapping. Like he's got
Yeah.
like a swag to him.
He's something about him that's different for sure. Like there's something. Yeah, he definitely has that swag on stage, and
Yeah.
that's why I feel like when the Strokes came out, they captivated me for sure in that
Yeah.
first record, and a bunch of the records were great. But you know, I don't. I guess you get to a point in life where there's certain. Like you were allowed to enjoy your 20s and be a crazy person, probably maybe not as much in modern days, but I don't think ever. I mean, as long as you're doing everything and you're safe and you're cool with everyone, but there's a point where you business and alcohol and drugs and all that stuff they come to a crossroads.
Yeah.
And you have to make a decision: is doing the best music you can do of your life, or whatever you do, crafting whatever you do, are you doing it at your best abilities? Because I think if you're drinking and all that, it's not going to be that way.
It
It might
slurs
be
you.
that way for making the music in your studio because it makes you get out of the box a little bit. Not alcohol, but certain types of drugs that I've taken. But as far as
Okay.
like the routine of playing shows, Coachella, being number one, hitting those guitar solos, making everyone want to work with you. They don't want to work with a dude who's like drunk backstage, you know. So that was the idea. Is like I felt like I could have made a song with MGMT instead of me just being loud and obnoxious, probably, and just passing out.
Have you ever been tempted to start again? I mean, has someone
No.
ever just been like, "Oh, you should"?
Alcohol is. I feel like it was easy for me. Weed would be really hard for me.
Me and Beardo always quit weed. We go on these little things.
Yeah.
I haven't smoked weed for 4.5 months. Like we always.
Are we
do
gonna
this.
do it again?
Well, no, I'm off the weed.
You're off.
I haven't smoked in about a year. I smoked once in like 16 months or something like
And
that.
it was awful. You're
I
probably
didn't
just
like it.
paranoid the whole
I had to
time.
leave the
It's
party.
weird,
I had a
yeah.
panic attack.
Well, now that
because
we
you got to
happens.
smoke all the time or
All the
don't.
time.
It's either one or the other. There's no occasional smoke in
now
this
that-
weed these days.
Now that weed is legal, it's almost not as cool.
It's not as rock and roll.
Yeah,
baby.
it's like everyone's smoking. I walk down
Yeah. Oh,
Melrose.
the government's making money off you. You're cool, bro.
Yeah,
like, fuck
exactly.
you. Suck my own dick. Now, real quick, let's tell a little history about us. So let's go in chronological regalia. I was living in Laurel Canyon making beats as a
Yup.
hobby. For fun. I wasn't ever trying to be a rapper or a real producer. I was making beats. My friend Ben Gruenberg, who grew up with Legacy and Mickey Avalon, said to me one day, "You got to meet these rappers that are dope." And I said, "I don't want to meet any rappers." And he was very adamant that we meet. And then him, Legacy, and Mickey both said, "We don't want to meet Simon Rex. Like, fuck that dude," or whatever. Maybe he didn't say that, something like that. So we got forced to meet each other, right? So we somehow got forced to meet up to do music, and we all met up, and next thing you know, I'm like, "Oh my God, I love these guys. They're fucking amazing rappers. They're the homies. I just got my 2 new best friends." And we started recording music in my spare bedroom and handing it out at nightclubs. And then it eventually got in the hands of our manager at the time, Kevin Wolf, who got Mickey signed to Interscope, and we ended up touring the whole fucking world. And in that process, we meet Beardo when
Yeah.
you said you had met him at a clothing store.
Beardo met him. I mean, Mickey met him at an
Oh, that's-
Airwalk like photo
Me and
shoot.
Oh, yeah,
Mickey-
modeling shoot.
Me and Mickey were modeling.
Now that you and Mickey Avalon are models, you mean anything can happen in this world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's crazy, yeah. I
So-
remember he was playing his beats on the. So I hadn't met Simon, so right where he just Simon had left it there. This is where I enter into the film.
Thank God.
Yeah, but I remember I met Mickey I was modeling for Airwalks. I had big hair, so I don't know. I was never like, I just was getting gigs. I don't know why, but and so he was there, and he's playing these beats. Jane Fonda, way before it ever came out or anything, was just made the day before at Cisco's house, and I was like, man, this is the best shit I've ever heard. Yeah. He's like, this is me. I'm like, he goes, I go, no, it's not. No, it's not. And then we just became friends. He had no money, nothing. I used to drive him out of my truck, and I was applying for jobs at clothing stores in LA. And I was like, Mickey, whatever you do, because he used to walk around in this pink shirt and he did not smell good at the time.
He still does.
Yeah. So it was like some girls liked it. He said the girls love it. And I was like, but there was girls all over him. So I was like, at the modeling shoot. So fast forward, I was like, whatever you do, Mickey, don't come into the clothing store while I'm filling the application out and talking to the manager. And every time, halfway through, he would come in, hey, Beardo, when are we gonna leave, man? And it's just like I would never get the gig. And so I met him, and then I met you, and then he told me about this guy Cisco Adler up in Malibu about a band called White Star. So I ended up playing guitar, joining that band, playing guitar. But on the side note of that, I was so in love with what I heard from Mickey that I was like, just hung out with him every day. I was like, this guy's onto something. Like, I never made a beat in my life, didn't have a studio, nothing, but I just knew that I needed to quickly get a laptop and start making beats right now. And so I started doing that. And I remember I went over to this guy, Steve Lindsay's studio the first time. You brought me over, Andre brought me over, and Mickey, and I met this guy over there who I had not known was an actor at all. He'll tell you, I didn't know he was in any movies, nothing. I went right up to him and I just thought he was a music producer. I go, man, you're running this room really good. And he's like, really? He's like, I go, yeah, your beats are sick. Like, I love all the beats you're doing. He's like, really? And I don't know if he thought that I was genuine, or thought that I was like trying to become friends with him for whatever reason, but I didn't know anything about the man. And, but other than what I was hearing. And so I was just like, man, this is the group. So I just started naturally hanging out with these guys, and we all just became friends first, and then started making beats and stuff for them, and so on and so on. But that's how
Beardo's like the fourth member of Dyslexic. Exactly. He's like the fifth Beatle.
So whenever someone couldn't be there to do my dick, I would do it. So I was the only other fourth guy that was allowed to come up and do my dick.
Yeah.
So I'd be the alternative guy, but I ended up making my own record called Beardo, and through that, and then we all started doing well because of. I remember MySpace was doing good. I remember woke up the next morning, I had like 60,000 hits on my one
song.
This
was 05, around the era of 05.
Yeah, 05.
About 05. So, yeah, and so that's exactly how it all went down. Yeah. And I remember even more specifically when you sent Beardo to go, because Cisco was like, well, I need a guitar player. And you sent Beardo over, and I remember Cisco calling me going, I see this dude walk in the room, and I remember saying to myself, please let this motherfucker know how to play guitar, because he got the look. Yeah. And then he said he played guitar, and I was like, and you were in White Star. And then we all did music together, and there was sort of a mid 2000s movement in LA happening. It was like LMFAO, Andre Legacy, Beardo, Dyslexic, Dirt Nasty.
We were doing good, all of us.
There was like an LA sound that was happening, you know? And we all had our thing in the rock scene. It was like we were touring the whole country, and there was like a thing that's just not there anymore, you know? That in LA.
You guys are still touring like
we
really
tour,
good.
But
you guys
I just mean LA doesn't have a sound right now.
Like you always say,
there was
an
LA sound.
There was lightning in a bottle, and you remember you always used to saying that it's hard to hold on to lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Like, and you try to aim to hit things, because I know people that try to do in this at Los Angeles. You come here to do something, and what you set out to do is not what you end up doing. I set out to come to Los Angeles to play guitar, and I did, but then I ended up being a rapper, and I actually had the most success in my life with my Beardo stuff.
Yeah, because it wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned. It was just me giving up really much on playing guitar and saying, the way it really worked is I was making demos for these guys, but I was using my voice.
Yeah.
And I remember playing a bunch of songs for Mickey in the car one day back from a show, and he's like, man, this sounds like your voice is something different. Like, I don't know what you should do, but this is something different. So it ended up being,
I remember Alchemist hits me up when you first put your shit out. Alchemist calls me, goes, yo, Alchemist is like a serious hip hop producer that's like a very respected, like real hip hop head. And he hits me up, he's like, yo, I fuck with Beardo. And I was
which
like,
is big for me,
that's
he's
big.
My hero.
Yeah. And then cut to years later, Action Bronson, who he produces, ended up sampling and rapping over a Void song that I played them. And it all comes full circle.
Yep.
Let's talk about Andre Legacy.
So Simon's lined up stuff for me through the years for sure.
We all help each other
yeah.
out. It's
Fuck
just
yeah.
Well, no, we all do, but it's like, you know,
Yeah.
if I had come to LA, I came from Allentown. From Allentown, Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania,
where
yeah.
I was basically
you're gonna die.
toting guns, and I was basically either going to go to prison or I was going to get a girl pregnant or
Or get pregnant in prison.
or something bad was
Or just
gonna
end
happen,
up being
so-
Puerto Rican the rest of your
Yeah,
life.
you were on your way to being a Puerto Rican.
I came to LA with not with like exactly $5 in my pocket and didn't know anybody. I knew one guy, this guitar player in Buck Cherry, who had the song "I Love the Cocaine."
Yeah.
And then he was in Japan, but if it wasn't for meeting these guys, like I don't know what would have happened.
But it wasn't planned. That's what I always.
That's what
The
was
theme
cool,
I'm always
yeah.
talking about is you can't plan shit. Magic just happens. And Andre Legacy. Let's talk real quick about how you got your name. I remember when it happened. You and Mickey Avalon were Met Fly. Your name was Met Fly. You were rapping for years. Legacy's the real rapper in the crew. He taught me how to rap in a lot of ways. He taught me the structuring, and him and Mickey grew up rapping. So Legacy was Met Fly, and then one day, how did you become Legacy?
I put out 2 albums. One was my solo album, it was called Wiggin' Out in 2000, and then I put out another album called The Overfiends with my boy Exist Stereo, and it had all the Shapeshifters in there and subtitled and all these, you know, underground Project Blood Fools. And we're like, you know, we need to stop doing this underground shit. We got to try to make some money. So we're sitting at like a vegan, like, you know, burger spot and Burger Bank by his mom's house. It was like 03. And we're like, you know, we can't put out shit till we like, you know, got some rock star shit.
You and
Like,
Mickey.
Me and Mickey. And we're sitting there like thinking of names, and like his street was his mom's street. It's called Avon. And he's like, does a porn star have like your mom is like your street name? And like, you know, like whatever. And I was like, yeah. So we just started like fucking around with Avon, and he thought of like Avalon. And then like from there, I was like Frankie Avalon, Mickey Avalon. And then I don't know how, but then I incorporated Andre Agassi with Legacy, like
Because you're serving fools.
serving fools on the mic. And then I was like,
amazing.
and we just came up with those 2 names, and we just stuck with it ever since, you know? It's
never
like,
knew that.
it's like 15, 16 years now we rocking those names.
And then you guys created those personas, came over, and the rap kind of started becoming less underground and more Hollywood, like fuck you, suck my dick, cocaine shit, and less kind of like, you know, less Project Blowed, more like this new thing we were doing.
Party shit.
Party
yeah.
shit,
I had
right.
to put out an album 3-4 years after
Right.
that point. I just stopped putting stuff out and just started like
Yeah.
honing the, you know, the tight shit. you
Well,
know?
then before I was Dirt Nasty, I was Magnifico Gerimani, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
produced a whole album. I just gave you and Mickey Avalon a bunch of beats that were sitting there. You guys took it, did a whole album.
Yeah.
Came back, we put it out, and there was like a picture of you two, like dyslexic speed readers reading a book, and then you put me in the corner featuring Magnifico Gerimani.
People ask for that album online all the time. Like, how do I get a copy of Catching Up to Wilt? Because it was so raw. I mean, even, I listened to it recently, and
It's the best.
it's actually really dope. It's
Yeah.
like super raw stuff. There's like songs called like 25,000 Strong. And like, you know, like
Because
just
Wilt Chamberlain slept with 25,000.
yeah, butt naked. I mean, you could see like the beginning of like the regalia right there, just starting. You know, like the seed was planted, and, you know. And then me and Mickey went to a party at Wilt's house, and
right.
Wilt's estate, and we walked into this room, and it was like a harem in there, and like. I was like, yo, you feeling what I'm feeling? He's like, for sure. I was like, dude, like 50,000 chicks got slayed in here, dude, about a big black man's dick, for sure.
Dude.
Like a 7-footer's dick just got, like, I could feel just like just bodies in
If
there,
the
you know?
balls could talk.
Yeah, if these balls could talk.
So we did a song called
We
that.
did that.
We did.
And we sent it to Cisco, and he's like, this is the worst song I've ever heard.
That's when you know you got to put it out. When
Yeah,
you think it sucks.
Exactly.
So that's how it happened. You and Mickey, and then Dirt Nasty was born after you guys did a whole album. I remember you saying to me, like, why don't you just get on stage and rock like my dick with, I don't even think we did.
And we
My
told
Dick
you
at
we
that
had to
point.
rap. And you're like, I don't want to rap. I just want
Yeah.
to produce. We're like, we need you. We
Yeah,
need
we
you
need
to
a
get
third dude,
We
yeah.
need the fucking comedy. You know, like
yeah. So I started opening up for you guys, and I
Yeah.
was just screaming on the mic. I didn't know my voice yet. You were helping me, like,
you come out on
figure it
stage with me a
out.
lot.
But
of
you
the time,
guys
most
used to
of the time.
come out together too.
Yeah,
for a
then
while.
we came out
Yeah.
together.
I remember I used to
Yeah.
DJ for you guys sometimes.
That's right.
Remember when we played on Coenga? There was that little place there on Coenga, and I remember I was like,
All a blur, dude.
So, yeah, it was
we
a
got to do
blur.
an album called "It's All a Blur" and just talk about what we don't remember. But Legacy's got the memory of a fucking
He remembers
of a
everything.
Burmese hawk. How do you remember shit, dude?
I can't remember what I had for breakfast today, but I'll remember like some promoter's name from fucking Reno from 8 years ago. Like I have no fun.
Try 16 years ago.
Yeah, like I just
True.
don't know.
Or
I
you'll
just-
say like, oh, actually, Kirby Puckett batted 261 in
Yeah,
1982 when he was
sports
playing. He got
statistics.
traded. Like, how the fuck do you?
I don't
I
know.
don't get it either,
I don't know.
like,
Like trivia, history, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the regalia.
It absorbs.
It absorbs the regalia.
I can't read a book, but I'll remember everything I see on TV
Yeah,
somehow.
he's what you call a palatial rigatoni.
Yeah.
So
Yes. visual.
How are you feeling about all of this? Because we're just
Yeah.
reminiscing here. This must be weird because
No, I mean I love the dynamic.
Okay.
I'm kind of confused on the years that have gone by. Like how
yeah.
many years has it been?
15.
Like when did y'all meet?
we started. We put out all I remember is my album came out in 2005, and that's
Yeah.
when MySpace came out. When Mickey's album came out a year before. So you and Mickey, I think, came out 04, and
no,
I
no.
came out 05, 06.
With our single solo albums?
No, yeah, your solo album was out before mine, wasn't
No,
it?
no,
Oh, mine
Mickey's-
was out before
right?
yours.
No, Mickey's came out in like 05, 06.
I was 05.
No, we met in like 02, 3. We met.
Right.
Okay.
And then in 04, like 5, Mickey put out his album.
Right.
And then I put out my album in 07. But we'd already been recording that whole 3-4
Yeah.
year time and like putting
So
stuff.
it was 3-4 years. Of
Yeah.
doing y'all's
I think
work.
most of the major stuff happened around like.
And then I
probably
think you and
05
Beardo
and
put
08.
05 to
I think you
08,
and Beardo, Mickey's was 06, mine was 07, and I think
mine
you and
was
Beardo
08.
were 08. You put both of yours out in
Okay,
08, and then
okay.
the
Early
mixtape
08.
the
Yeah, you're
mixtape
right,
came out
you're
early
right.
09.
You're right. So the whole movement started around 05, let's say.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right when MySpace came out, and we used MySpace on accident. Again, no plan. As a
Total
tool,
accident.
it just happened to line up with us, and it was kind of the gift and a curse because without MySpace, we wouldn't have gotten in front of all those people.
Yeah.
But also before MySpace is when you made a ton of money.
Yeah.
We didn't get the money.
Also, remember,
we just had the fun.
Mickey had signed his first deal to MySpace,
MySpace
Records.
Records.
So that was the thing. It was like
The first guy.
we were kind of hooked up with them not because they hooked us up, because it was just happening. I remember from Mickey, he was just like getting insane numbers up on the on
yeah.
MySpace.
And Tom was just a big
So
fan
if
of
you
ours.
were-
We're,
Tom,
we're like one of the
Yeah,
one of the
Tom.
first artists on MySpace.
Yeah,
Was
and
like,
if you
that was
were
pushing.
Mickey or Dirts or whoever at the time's top like friends, remember that?
Right,
You had to
yeah,
be in the
your
top 5 friends.
Yeah. Top
Yeah,
8.
You got a lot of hits too. So
People would pay us to be in the top 8.
Oh, yeah.
I would get paid. Someone would be like, "I'll give you
Really?
$100
Yeah.
bucks to be in your top."
Wow.
I was
Wow.
paying. I was paying Simon the whole time.
There. But
kidding.
how do they pay you before Venmo? What they
No, a
mail
person I
you?
knew would know. A person would come up and say, "Hey,
Yes.
Simon, put me in
Money
top 8."
order.
Sexual favors.
Yeah, I sucked their dick.
Money order.
Damn, that's so crazy. So yeah, chronologically, that's about when that happened. Then we all go on tour, and
When'd
then
you go
me and
platinum?
Mickey, we didn't go platinum until about a year and a half ago. It
Yeah.
took like 13 years for My Dick to sell 1 million units. And again, to go back to you not wanting to put your song 24-hour Party,
Yep.
to me not wanting to put 1980 on my album.
Which is
I remember
crazy.
driving home from Cisco's with my hit song going, this shit's garbage. I ain't putting it on my album. If I didn't, I would be broke as fuck. And the songs paid my rent for years. And you came up with My Dick, and I was like, no. So what I've learned is I'm always wrong.
It's hard to go make a song and be like, especially back then we were a little younger in the game, and be like, oh, this is a hit. This is it. Like when
Yeah.
me and Beardo just recorded that new song that we did, Bullets.
Do you wanna be a gangster? Do you wanna be a gangster? Do you wanna be a slut?
Andre, the motherfucking legacy. It's the dude. People wanna get with me. Some ghost. I'm straight history. Whistling hymns off of victory and wit sets.
It's like
Yeah.
the next day, we're like, yeah, we're done recording. This is a hit right here. Like
I love that song.
Like we just know now. Back then, it just we didn't know what we know now. You know what I
Right.
mean? It was harder to figure it out.
Perry Farrell, Kid Rock, they actually said, hey, we liked what you were doing in
Before.
Simon's spare bedroom with his homies. Better
Yeah.
than this overproduced shit.
It lost
and they
the organic-
shelved the album,
Yep.
and it was more magic because it was an energy. You felt it's almost like like you hear a demo of some old rock band and you feel it. You're like, oh,
Yep.
these guys are in a garage on a
we'll-
four track. Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever be able to do it again.
No,
like,
it's over.
I think we'll like.
We can
I
make
think-
good music, but not
we
that
can make
magic.
great music. But there was something about when we all were at that point in our lives. We were all like willing to take risks. We were all like, just I don't know. It was
Piss
a
and vinegar.
magic.
Yeah.
We were all friends first, but then also hanging. We were hanging out every day.
There was no money.
I was working at Miss
No
60.
fame.
Nothing. I was working at Miss 60 on Melrose, and I would take my 15-minute break, and I'd run I'd run with my shirt off, run to Mickey's house, which was like right down
Yeah.
like 3 blocks away. These guys would be there, and I'd do like 17 bong loads.
Yeah,
And then I'd
Molly.
when my shirt wouldn't smell, I'd throw my work shirt back on and go back in.
Yes.
And then they put me in the office when I went back to one time, and like all the corporate people were there, like. You went on before you went on your 15-minute break. You looked normal. Now you look like you're just like
You still smell like
like
weed
a zombie.
regardless. You know what I mean?
So my eyes were beat red. Everything. I'm like, and I knew because it was a corporate gig that if I just didn't admit to it, they couldn't fire me because I could sue them or something. So I was like, no, I didn't. There's a DJ outside smoking near me, but it literally blatantly lying. My eyes were bloodshot red, like 17 bong loads of Kush. And I used to, that's an example. We used to just. Simon's house. We'd be up at Simon's house
All night.
every day. It didn't even matter. Like we would just show up there every day. Now you have to plan, call people, even to get to meet.
It's different time. We're older and we have different
We're older,
lives.
yeah,
but no, we were also young and dumb. We didn't know what we were doing.
It
which
matters
is why
though.
It does matter
in art.
It,
You have
absolutely.
to be hanging out every day.
Yeah.
You have to be like
Common cause.
Like I could almost like finish his sentence, and you can do the same for me.
Yeah.
We were just that close.
It's
you know?
like a relationship, with a girl. Like when you're with a loved one, after a while, you kind of just finish. You know each other so well that it's just a chemistry that we had. It was just like insta home. When you meet someone, like we met Mac Lethal. Remember we met Mac Lethal? We're
Yep,
like,
yep.
you're our homie. Like
Yeah.
we would have hung out with you in high school.
Yeah, it was his birthday and he hung out with us.
He brought us the barbecue in the rain.
Yeah.
We're performing in the rain on a swimming pool on the roof.
Shit was hilarious.
I'm still friends with Mac. I was texting him. Yeah, he's texting me to watching the Niners game going, I'm rooting for your Niners. Like you make certain friends in this world that you click with right away. And these guys were insta homies.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen too often, especially as you get older. You don't really like, I'm not as open to I should be more like meeting new friends, but like these guys are my friends forever.
It's like every day I wake up and say I need to make a call list. Like I'm terrible with the phone. You guys know.
Oh, he's the
but
worst.
I'm the best at getting stuff done. I've everything I set to do I've done and I do. I've just never been such a social guy. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's
You're
part
an
of my
artist.
youth too. Like I was just always like introverted, like to be alone. But then when I'm out in front of people, like I'm loud and crazy. But then I go back into like this thing. Like I don't know. It's probably not a good thing, but
Well, you
just
can't
what
say
it is.
this, but he's a genius. Like he's a technical. Like both of these guys are
Mensa.
genius. Yeah, well, not. I wouldn't say Mensa. I don't think you're like an academic genius,
No.
but he's a musical genius in that he excelled past his teacher. I just remember hearing this. Correct me if I'm wrong. That you were teaching your teacher in high school how to play guitar in band.
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever. So
Oh.
he like surpassed his teacher. Legacy is like a lyrical genius and has the best voice of anyone in our career. Like he's the real rapper. Like so you're working with these like talented guys, and I was always like, I just saw myself as kind of like the glue who kind of had a Hollywood in that just presented it, because I could hand it to like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'd hand our demo
He's being
to
too nice. He was
the celebrities.
My perspective was different. My perspective, see, I didn't go back to what I said earlier. I didn't know that he was hooked up in Hollywood. I didn't know that he had. So me coming from, if I'm the supposed musical, because I got a full scholarship to go to play jazz, and I did all that, and I just, long story short, in Philly, I got a full scholarship to get out of trouble, go to college, dropped out of college for years, came to LA, met these guys. We already discussed that. But when I heard his music, like there was beats that you gave me a CD, and I was just blown away by some. Back then I was like,
Oh yeah,
it really,
Simon's an underrated producer.
But it
He
really-
actually really makes sick beats.
it really influenced me
Yeah.
in my beat making through years. So I know that it doesn't seem important to you, or like it didn't seem like maybe you were just.
It was part of the
doing
sound,
it at a
yeah,
part,
yeah.
but there was something genuinely like genius about what you were doing with music. You might not be a musician, but maybe
Yeah, I don't know how to read music,
But
yeah.
you had whatever you were doing. It was
worked.
But Simon's like
'Cause
genuinely-
I've heard beat makers make shitty beats.
But Simon's
And they're-
genuinely
you know?
just a good, nice guy, and people that know Simon that are close to him, like his close friends, that he has a lot of them. They're like genuinely like nice guys too. Like the vibe at the
Jeffrey
show.
or
Yeah, the
like-
vibe at the show, the Viper Room, like Ben and like all the boys
Brandon.
there. Yeah, and like when I'd meet people through like Simon, like Too Short or something. When I met Too Short the first time, like I didn't have to introduce myself, nothing. He already knew who I was, and since like I'm your boy, he just automatically gave me that respect and was cool with me. And it could be anybody. It could be like Anna Fair, whoever it is. They're all just because they know you're Simon's boy. They just automatically like you
We
get the
needed
pass.
that though. It helped.
Well, I think it's like a meal, right? Like if you have a good meal and you got like 4 ingredients, like we all just complimented each other somehow. Like you were the rigatoni. Yeshi was the fucking salad getting tossed. I was the fucking sausage, and Beardo was the
The meat
bottle of
sauce.
wine. Yeah, it's like it all kind of complimented each other. But
Yeah, it was
it just
fun.
worked. Whatever it was, it just worked, and it was
Yeah.
not planned. And we just had fun, and I think it was contagious. And like, so yeah, we did our reunion show the other night, and we kind of brought the lightning back into the bottle.
We
for a
did.
night. I
Yeah.
felt it for the
More
night.
so than when we did that one song in the OC.
Oh, yeah,
like when
way
we did
more,
it,
yeah.
we just came.
That
It
wasn't
felt
bad.
like the old days
Yeah.
when we did that song. And I was thinking to myself, like, I would one day, because I always tell it to them, like, I would love to, like, all 4 of us.
Get back.
I
in
don't
there.
care if we all have to make less money, whatever it is for that tour. Like, let's just do it. Let's us 4 go and do a West Coast tour.
I would love
from
that,
San
dude.
Francisco, or let's
Yeah,
go from
being in
Seattle,
tour bus with like 4 of your
Seattle-
homies.
Nothing better.
Nothing
Seattle
better.
to whatever San Diego. Let's just do that over a week one
We,
day.
I'm down.
That's 2020. Let's do the 2020 reunion tour. We're
course.
saying it right now. Yes, you'll be down.
On air.
Mickey will do it. Yep, we're gonna do
Yeah,
it,
we
and we'll get
should.
like maybe who else would be like a peripheral homie that would be part of that tour? I think it should just be the Four Horsemen.
Yeah,
like
that should just be us four.
Us four. We'll get a tour bus.
But we should have someone opening. We should have, maybe all that. But
Yeah,
we'll
we'll figure it out. It's a trip, man. So. Yeah, so I remember, and then to
was
go
a
more
trip.
into chronological order, then I didn't talk to Mickey for 4 years.
Wow.
'Cause
Do we want
Mickey-
to talk about what
I
happened?
can talk
Yeah.
about it. It's okay.
Okay.
We've talked about it.
I was there for it.
Yeah, he was
Me
there
and you
for
were
it.
there.
Basically, me and Mickey didn't talk for a few years because I think it was right around the time I went to Australia, and I came back and I could just tell that it had gotten a lot bigger than it was when I had left. And I came back and I could just see a shift happening and how big he got. And Fame is a motherfucker, like and he was, he'll tell you he was doing gnarly drugs. I mean, the
Sure.
motherfucker. We'd be at MTV or meeting the Dust Brothers, getting these huge opportunities, and he'd be running in the back and doing heroin. And it was cute for a minute, but that ain't gonna last. It's rock and roll, it's cool, but that shit'll kind of wear after a while. And I remember it got dark. It just got dark.
It did.
And it wasn't fun anymore. And I kind of
And money got different.
Money got
made
different.
Money got more, so things got weird.
And when you got a drug habit and you're getting money and things get just kind of shady and weird. And we basically almost came to blows in Australia. And his mom had to like break it up in front of a hotel. And I was like, I'm done. I told you, I'm done.
Literally
I don't care
out of
anymore.
the car,
Yeah.
like in a circle. We were about to fight, and then that was it. It was Brisbane.
In Brisbane, yep, that's right. I remember telling you, I'm like, Beardo, I'm done. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm out. And then I went my own way. And then about, I'd say like 4 years ago, dust settled, water under the bridge. It's like, you know what, dude? Like our agent was like, you guys could be making a lot more money together than apart. What's up? So we kind of made up, and now we're all cool.
Yeah. Which is
It
good.
goes deeper than that, but that's really the cliff notes.
Yeah, the basic.
Every band has this happen. Anytime you see it behind the music, it's like, oh, that story's been told a million times. If you go live on a tour bus with your homies for a couple years, you're gonna want to kill each other.
That's what I mean. Like, I think it was time anyways. 'Cause I think at that point we had that's where it was.
Yep.
He was getting worse, and we were just we were counting the days. We knew that things were getting weird. He was just going through a transition too.
Yeah.
If you speak to him now, he's a totally different person.
Now he's happy as a clam. Now he's like completely like, I think he's 4 years off of like the dope.
Yep.
And he's just got a different energy, and he's just kind of back to kind of the silly, goofy Mickey that I met when he was, before the fame. And dude, I've seen it happen to a lot of people. So I don't even I'm not even like resentful or anything. It just was weird. It had to go that way. Otherwise we were going to kill each other. Like,
Well, it gets to a point where it's like the drugs no longer like motivate you or help enhance everything. It gets to the point where like, you know what? I don't want to be here at the studio. I'd rather be at home getting high, hitting foils and shit,
Yeah.
whatever. And I literally remember him saying that. We went to go meet Luke
That's
the first
right,
time.
dude. That's
And
right.
I went outside to have a cigarette because I was looking for him. And you were in there with like him and like Benny Blanco. And we were like having the first session with Luke. And I was like standing next to him, and I was like, "What's wrong, bro?" And he's like, "Man, I don't want to be here, man. I just want to be at the crib, like hitting foils." I'm like, "Are you out of your fucking mind, bro? We could work for a couple hours. You could go hit it in the bathroom, like just go home and do that." He's like, and I turned around, his fool's gone. He booked it on us, and I remember having to walk in. He's like, "Where was Mickey?" And I was just like, "Oh man, he boned out." Luke looked at me like I was crazy. He's like, "What do you mean he boned out?" I was like, "He just went home, bro. I don't know." And like,
That was the end for me,
He
yeah.
was upset, man. He was really not.
Yeah,
happy
I
with
think
that.
it just all kind of crashed down on him. He had, I mean, honestly, like, because he was the lead of all of us, he was kind of the lead
Sure.
act. So it kind of all came onto him. And
Yeah.
he'll even say it. He's like, dude, I was just a street kid with a dope habit. Like, that was a lot to handle. So I think even if you're fucking sober, like Fame, I just seen it fuck so many people
Too much
up.
pressure.
It's a lot, man. Like,
It hit fast for him too. It was like boom.
Yeah.
Like it was like next day. Like one week he was in my pickup truck. Didn't have a car. Didn't have an apartment really. Just like basically like nothing. Like buying him lunch.
to girls
and I had
screaming
nothing.
and pulling at him. Like,
Yeah,
it's weird. It fucks
to
you up.
like girls screaming, pulling at him. He was making money, getting a record deal. I was with him when he got it signed to Interscope. I actually videotaped it when he signed his name down, and I just
That's
couldn't-
right. Oh, shit.
I was the only one.
Remember that.
I was in there with his lawyer, and I was like, "This is crazy." And like, he did change. He changed. You know, I always said to him, I said, I remember Luke. I was with Luke that one of those first days when we were there playing him demos, and he said to me, "He said, how do you guys work with him?" And I said, "Well."
It wasn't like that before, you know?
I didn't know what he was talking about because we lived and breathed together. So like Mickey to me was like my boy, and we were together every day. I was like, I don't know, we're just boys, and we just make beats at 12 at night on a laptop. I just don't think the structured thing worked for him.
Yeah, all of a sudden, be here, make a hit. Like, it's okay. So I compare it to the Black Sabbath documentary that I saw, where and I'm not comparing us to Black Sabbath, but Black Sabbath fucking made an album and created heavy metal without knowing what they were doing. They were just fucking around, and all of a sudden they put it out, and their label was like, "Oh my god, like you guys are onto something. It's blowing up. Go do it again." And they all looked at each other and like, "We don't know what we did. How the fuck are we supposed to recreate that lightning in a bottle?" That's why I got it, and that's kind of what happened to us. It was like all of a sudden we all turned into these monsters, and we're fucking like we didn't even know what we did, dude.
Yeah, but you know what they say? Lightning strikes the same place twice, sometimes 3, sometimes 10
I like
times.
that.
Insightful.
Yeah, but I remember we went from playing for like, I remember we used to go to the OC. This is when I was part of the group, but I remember we used to go down to the OC and do a bunch of random shows down there at like random clubs with Mickey. Remember, like right when he started to get little this and
The
that.
all ages one with the candy.
Yeah,
the
just-
all ages
that's-
candy
yeah.
spot.
But just like
Wild.
maybe like 50 to a couple hundred, maybe at the max.
Yeah.
And to go from that to like going on world tour, or like I remember these guys went and did Chili Peppers.
We opened up for the Chili Peppers in front of
What?
soccer stadiums and
Yeah.
got booed
Yeah.
off stage every
It's like
night. With the
15,000
We
people.
opened up for Wu-Tang Clan and the Chili Peppers and just got
Yeah.
boo.
Perry
And we're
Farrell.
yeah. Oh yeah. And then I remember the first time at that Orange County one we would always go to. It was candy. They
Yeah.
sold candy in
Yeah.
there. I remember we're backstage and I'm like 32 years old. This is like 13 years ago, and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. All of a sudden I hear outside, "Dirt nasty." Dirt nasty, and I look at you. I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?"
They're
It
all
just
15,
became
16.
a thing, dude.
And yeah, and you work hard every day in LA to have that happen. Like you think that if you structurally do it, like I'm gonna make my beats, I'm gonna make these songs, work this producer, I'm gonna look cool, I'm gonna make this sick video, and then you get like 1,000 hits on your video, and no one gives a shit. And then you make music, anything. I'm just using an example. You just do something on the side, like fuck it, I'm done with playing guitar on this shit, and you just do something that hits. I don't know. It's just arcade.
It's weird.
I don't think you can. Some people probably go through the whole life and nothing happens.
Well, because people
know?
always say, like, they'll ask me, like, "Oh, how did you guys do it? Like, what'd you do?" I'm like, "I don't fucking
Remember
know."
Riff Raff used to ask us that.
Right.
He's like, how'd you
Well, he
guys get
figured it
these?
out, though.
Yeah, he did.
He's cracked the matrix.
He cracked the matrix. He remember we used to go play in Houston. This is back when we were doing our tours, and I couldn't believe we were selling out all these places. We had tour buses. Well, Mickey had a tour bus. We all stayed on it. But I remember like meeting Riff Raff. He was like literally in his car, living in his car practically, and he was a huge fan. And I remember when we first met Riff Raff, it was because this guy was listening to him. He said, "You gotta check this guy out." No one knew who he was. He was just making these stupid videos online, and he said his phone number in one of the videos, and we're like, "That can't be his real phone number." And he's called the number, and it was really him. And then that's
And then
how
he's
we
living
met
on
him.
my couch.
He was living on his couch,
Just
and-
like Mickey.
Yep, I got him his first apartment in LA too,
That's
at Babyhead's
right.
place.
Oh, that's right.
So like this is when he had no creed. He goes like, "Beer, I don't have any credit. I don't know what I'm gonna do." I'm like, "I have a guy you can get hooked up with." But anyways, long story
right.
short, it wasn't for Simon. I don't know. Riff Raff got him out to LA. I mean, you
Yeah.
got him out to LA. So
Yeah, I got him in LA. He lived on my couch. I remember I'd come home and I would hear BET blaring from my, like, I'd pull up and I'd hear like loud ass BET on my TV.
amazing.
I'm not racist, but I'd never watch BET. And this motherfucker would be sitting on my couch with his cornrows watching BET. I'm like, this is not happening. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. And echoing through my canyon in Laurel Canyon regalia is just like some urban ass, like, and it was Riff Raff on my couch. And I was like, this is too funny. And then, next thing you know, Diplo signed him, and the next thing you know, he blew up.
Yeah.
And it just happened. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But
He
it was
just came
cool.
out.
It was cool to see him in those early stages where he was
Yeah.
like, "Man, how'd you guys get these tour buses and stuff?" I was like,
Yeah, he
I don't
wanted-
even know. It's just-
He was just like, I think his comedy helped.
Remember we couldn't figure out how he got so black, and one day he came over with like a 12-pack of Coors Light, with like 5 of them missing. He was already just like on a buzz, and it was just me and you there, and he just started telling us his basketball stories, and we're like, "Oh, this is how it became." He's
that's
he's like a
right.
semi-pro like basketball
That's
player. He's
right.
probably like the only. He's like, "Yeah, I'll be on the fast break, and like it'd be like a 3-on-1 break, and I tell the big 6'8" dude, "Hey, I'll get you next time, partner." And then shoot a 3, and the coach would just pull him out of the game, be like, "You're Riff Raff. Go sit in the end of the bench." Let's say the coach named him Riff
I
Raff.
don't remember that.
I remember him telling me the coach
You
named.
got the memory of a Burmese falcon.
I'm a fucking hawk.
Damn, dude. This is great. You know what we should do next time? I think we get Mickey on here and do
Yeah.
all 4 of us.
That'd be great.
For a reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Or if he's here, it's called the re-onion because that's what he smells like.
he got an onion in the headline.
Did
Did he
Yeah.
ever start smelling better?
No, never.
Never.
I think
He doesn't care.
It's crazy because I
works.
didn't. I mean, I swear to God, I'm not kidding. I remember when I first met the guy. This is when he had no money, nothing that women would be like with him for, like other than like.
It's
he had
like
this-
1 out of 20 chicks
He
likes that
looked
smell.
like he was like Billy Squire. He had this crazy Billy Squire hair, And then he was wearing like the same pants every day and the same pink shirt. He wore that same.
And he never
pink
wears
t-shirt.
underwear.
Never
No.
wears underwear.
No.
And it was the worst smell. It's like if you could smell someone's armpits that smell
It's
bad,
like the deepest-
but times a million.
Yeah.
And I was like, but girls loved it. He had like 6 girls around him. He's like, oh, they love it. And I was like, impossible.
So to back him up on this, because he said that I remember we were watching this documentary once about how like a certain odor will bypass logic and women might smell the hormones.
Pheromones.
Oh, pheromones are women, I thought. Feminine hormones. Isn't men hormones?
No, I think it's pH.
Oh, whatever it is.
A pheromone is like your smell.
Oh,
like
okay.
It's what you're attracted to.
Okay. Oh, I was thinking estrogen. I don't have a good education. No. So the logical brain, it bypasses the logical brain that's like, that smells bad, but on
You're
a primal level,
animalistic, yeah.
you're attracted to it on a reptilian brain regalia. So that's what he would do. He would just be like, I'm just going to go for it. And it would
did
work.
it.
He'd always pulled bad
He did
bitches.
it.
Yeah.
I saw him. He had.
I know.
I was like, who is this dude?
He always did well. Before he was famous, he did well.
He was always larger than life.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had that thing. so-
Big dick energy, dude.
Yeah, he
for
did. He had a
sure.
huge dick.
It's
energy.
that one. It's the odds number. Like you pill 30 girls in there, like 2 of them will be like, "Oh my god, he smells disgusting," but I want him. The other 28 will be like us, like, "Dude, get that fool away from me." You know what I mean? It's just like
It's regalia.
it's that odor. He needs to
Okay,
bottle
so
it.
what do you guys? You guys have a new song we were talking
New
about?
song.
Bullets.
Yeah, it's a weird because we have been active over the years. Solo, Dirt's been putting out stuff. Me and Andre I produced a record for him, which he has. We're still doing stuff for it to put it out. And then we did a White Boys record, which was us 3, which came out, which is really cool. Alchemist loved it and all that stuff. And then brings us up to now. We were thinking like, we've been making these songs in my house just like kind of like the old school way.
Yeah.
He would just come over, we'd be chilling watching TV, and I just open the studio and we just let's mess around with the beat. And
Well, we finished my record, and then you're like, let's
Yeah.
just keep it going.
We
So
kept
we
it
kept
going.
going. So we're like, let's do a Beardo Legacy EP.
Yeah.
And then we did like 10, 12 songs.
So
and
we
then
have
once
like-
we did Bullets, we're like,
we have
all
like
right, we're done.
14 songs right now that we have that are new, me and him. And when we did Bullets, I was like, man, this one's cool. And then anyways, we have a new song out of those 14. Some of those other ones are going to come with it, but we're going to release an EP coming out probably in the next
And your girl's on the hook.
My girl's on the hook.
What's her stage name?
Maxine.
She's
Yeah.
great. She killed it at the
Yeah,
last
she's
show.
good.
She's
Killed it.
murdered it.
Yeah.
Killed it.
So yeah, more music coming. You know, we could
Yeah.
even do. I'm just gonna say this now in case we can run it. We're gonna play the song at the end of the episode,
Cool.
so people can get a sneak peek of it,
Perfect.
just to promote it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And let people hear it. And then how can they find you guys on social regalia?
Well, we're right now. If you go to at Beardo or at Andre Legacy,
Yeah.
Andre
or,
underscore.
Andre
on
underscore
Instagram is the
Legacy.
best thing. We don't have the name yet of what we want to be. I don't even know what that would be as a group because we're trying to figure
We'll
out
think of something.
how that would be for me and him. But we have a video for it, and we have Bullets. So we have a video and a new song, and then we have a
video's
bunch of other
sick.
songs gonna go with it.
Love it. All right,
So-
thank you guys for coming. We'll
Yeah.
we'll do part 2 because there's still more regalia to talk about.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
this was a lot for you, Dillard.
It's very
Dillard.
interesting.
Thank you,
though.
Dillard.
Yeah, thanks.
I love
Thanks for
it.
being a fly on the wall and listening to
Is
this.
she you're from Texas, right?
North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. I'm sorry.
Love
It's
North
okay.
Carolina.
Okay.
It was
Thank
either-
you.
North
She's a
Carolina is
Southern
one of the coolest places in the
It
United
really is.
States.
Benji Hughes, baby. And
Rocks.
we're gonna get him on the pod too, dude. Love you guys. Thanks for doing this. We'll do
Love you,
part 2.
baby.
We're gonna do part 2 another time. I'll suck your dick.
Thanks for having us, brother.
That
was fun.
baby. All right, coming to you from crispy little Thailand. I'm out here in Thailand on the never-ending holiday vacation. That was Beardo and Legacy, the 2 crispy Elmos. I'm sitting here at the Rigatoni Plaza out here on this little island called Koh Phangan. And it's crispy. I just got out from. I was just with Chris Ryan up in the regions of northern Thailand in Pai and in an area called Chiang Mai, which was cool. But I'm more of a tropical island baby, so now I'm on a little tropical island, and it's crispy Bonaducci. And yeah, Legacy and Beardo. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I got to get them on more because they're telling the tales of regalia. And that one, people been asking for that one for a while, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to give you guys the whole new song called Bullets that they just put out, so enjoy it. And you guys, coming from Legacy and Beardo, they'll agree with me. Go suck your own dick, baby.
Do you wanna be a gangster? Do you wanna be a gangster? Do you wanna be a slut?
Andre, the motherfucking legacy. It's the dude. People wanna get with me. Some ghost. I'm straight history. Whistling hymns off of Victory and Whitsett Street. The water ain't sweet, the shit's tap. Otherwise known to make your brain relapse like it's crack. The shit's addictive. And I don't care what your bitch did. Quit crying like a bitch and go get your biscuit. Cock it like this quick. If If your rich shit gon' be a statistic, I'm just a misfit. And all I know is how to go ballistic.
Do you wanna be a gangster? Do you wanna be a gangster? Do you wanna be a hustler? Do you wanna be a hustler? Hey. Do you wanna be a gangster? Do you wanna be a gangster? Do you wanna be a hustler? Do you wanna be a hustler?
Hey. Beardo, living the life, making hits all day and getting high all night. And I think my mind is possessed. I seen this AK come to life right off my chest. Yeah, officers think my life is worth less than $1. Mommy told me I was a baller. I survived cause I was smarter. A big small fish in a pond, you better get larger. Motherfucker wear a bulletproof vest. Motherfuckers like me get stressed. And I'm living in a maze. I get fucked up and I do it for days. Putting bullets to your car doors. Motherfucker, I'ma warn ya. I ain't scared to die just like you. Yeah. Live my life day by day in the zoo.
Do you wanna be a gangster? Do you wanna be a gangster? Do you wanna be a hustler? Do you wanna be a hustler? Hey. Do you wanna be a gangster? Do you wanna be a gangster? Do you wanna be a hustler? Do you wanna be a hustler?
Hey everybody, you are listening to Nervous Rex, a Nervous Rex. Wow.